In Costa Rica, you get to graduate from university. You have to take the class about how to teach. Besides that, you will need to decide about if you want to be a high school professor, like what's going to be your topic. Like you're going to be like social science, you need to get specialized in that, or science, or math. In order to be teacher in elementary school, you only need to get the basics. So all you need is like a license degree. But if you're going to go to high school, you need to get at least what in Costa Rica we'll call a doctor degree or a license. Or a PhD, actually, it's what they most require in education to be a professor there in high school of Costa Rica. Okay, the school calendar in Costa Rica, it'll go for 200 days in a row, starting in the second week of February, all the way to the second week of November, where they get a break in the middle period for 15 days. After that, our holidays will be Easter, Independence Day, Costa Rica National Hero Day, Mother's Day, and that's pretty much it, as well with the weekends for sure. So the kids go from Monday to Friday. In some of the school, when the population of the students is still big, they divide them into schedule. One goes from 7 to 11:50, the other one from 12:30 to around 5. So that's how pretty much Costa Rican calendar goes. Students have to go to Costa Rica, yes, because it's mandatory, and this is the fact that it's mandatory is for free. They have to stay in elementary school. If they're not, there's an institution of the government in charge to go and outside and look for the kids that are younger than 12 and ask them why they're not in the school. If they are working or something, the parents can get in trouble because it's mandatory. After that, when they go to high school, they can decide if they want to be or not in the school, but yeah, they don't have to pay anything. The government takes care of every of the expenses that they have. I think it's good. It used to be excellent, but they've been changing a lot of things. Because now what the government wants to create is a working class. They don't want leads anymore, because that's not what they need. They only need workers. So it used to be excellent, right now it's good. The Costa Rican violence in high school, some of them. If you go to the countryside, not at all. If you go to the one in the city, because they are the influence of a lot of TV, music, and drugs, there's a few situations where they do. I believe there's only one report about a kid who brought a gun into a classroom, and yes, so I believe it's most in the city. It happened only like in San Jose area. Dress code of Costa Rica for public school, like elementary school, the kids have to wear long pants, which is a dark blue color, and a white t-shirt. Once they go to high school, the same type of pants, but with a light blue colored shirt. The people who is in last grade, they get the chance to choose to wear a different type of t-shirt, like a polo shirt, that they've been changing from the color that they choose, which I'm not fully agree with, because the government will give you the regular uniforms, but not that specific from that school or the color that the students choose that year. So if somebody from low class will have some problems to pay for that shirt, they will feel bad because they didn't have it, so they will feel exclusive of the group. Even though when there is a dress code, that's what happened at the last year. Education important is everything. It's the only door we have as a third world country to have a better life. Most of the people in here, we belong to a middle class family that we don't have like big companies, like our fathers doesn't own a lot of money. So education is the only key, the only tool that we have for a better tomorrow. Like in here, you need to go and try to be a better man. And education gives you those tools to be somebody, and you can have like a house or a place on your own where you can live. So it's the most important thing we have in Costa Rica is the education. That's why it's free and it's mandatory. Mandatory. Kids in here have to go to school to schedule. If the school has a lot of students, the first one, It'll be from 7 to 11:50. The other one is gonna be from 12:30 to around 5. How many classes do we have in Costa Rica? In high school, we have the basic. That will be science, math, social science, English, French. We got two languages in here. Then we have music, civic. Then after you go to the third grade of high school, you need to choose which language you want to keep. If you want to keep the English or you want to go for French, which I believe 90% of the students in here decide to keep the English. After that, science becomes in three different classes. It will be physics, chemistry, and biology. Probably there have to be some, but I'm happy with the way they are right now. I'm happy with this government tests that are running. That, as I was mentioning, you can be graduate from high school, but anyway you need to still pass those tests. So that's how the government makes sure that every single school, no matter if it's a private or public school, they're teaching the same thing. Once that you pass, which means that you're ready to go to college. Changes. When I was in elementary school, if you want to go to high school, you have to pass government tests. After the third grade of high school, you have to take those tests again to keep going to fourth and fifth grade of high school. Right now, the government decided there was a waste of time, and they just took them out so they can encourage the kids to keep or to stay in school. Right now, the only government test they have is in the last grade of high school. So there have been some changes.